I'd love for them to just, know each other, at least see their faces, and get inspired by each other. Oh, there's Elena. All right, so we are everyone now. All right, so let's start it like this. We're just gonna go through all of the girls quickly. We're gonna start with Megan. So everyone, when they start talking, just unmute yourself. Just tell us where you're from, what's your name, and then we go to the next girl. Yeah, sounds good. Cool. Let's start with you, Megan.
Hi guys, I'm Megan. I'm from San Francisco, California.
Awesome. Steph, you.
Hi everybody, my name is Stephanie and I'm from North Carolina.
Awesome. Samantha.
I'm Samantha and I'm from Chicago.
Cool. Sylvia.
Hey, my name is Silvia. I'm from Italy, but I live in Copenhagen at the moment. Hi everyone. Nice to meet you.
Great, thank you. Next one, Olivia.
Hi, I'm Olivia and I'm from Germany.
Yay. So let's go next to Jenny. She's also from Germany, right?
Hello, everyone. My name is Jenny and I'm from Hamburg. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you. Next one, Caitlin. You have to unmute yourself, Caitlin.
There you go.
Yeah, that works.
Okay. Sorry. Hi, I'm Caitlin and I'm from St. Louis.
Great. And last one, Elena.
Hi girls, I'm Elena and I'm from Italy.
Awesome. Cool. Last thing, let's take a picture all together and then we can start. Sounds good?
Perfect.
Everyone smile. Yay, great. Cool. So let's everyone unmute themselves. I think you already have done it. And then I'm going over to the girls. They will introduce themselves. I already told you a little bit about them. They're amazing. So I know you will love them. So yeah, let's just start.
Amazing. Ready for us? Yeah. So hello, everybody. We are so excited to be here with this powerful group of women. We're so honored to be here. Thank you, Jess, for allowing us to share with you. We love teaching about meditation. So we'll start. I'm Amanda. I'm Malia. So we're the founders of Sisters That Stray, and we're mindset, self-expression, and empowerment coaches, yoga teachers, and meditation instructors. So what we really do is teach those who are ready to reconnect to and to remember who they are at their core, underneath it all, so that they can move forward in their purpose and in their truth. And do you want to talk about Sisters That Stray? Yeah, so Sisters That Stray is our community, and basically what we're doing inside Sisters That Stray is we are straying from the beaten path. So we're like carving out our own way of being, this new way of being, and really reprogramming our minds to our truths. So breaking free from these cages that society wants to put you in, and really like discovering who we are at our core, so we can live in our truth and we can express ourselves from our truth. Exactly. So that's what meditation is. It's basically reprogramming your thoughts and creating new thought patterns that serve you. Mm-hmm. So a little bit of background as well. We have been, before all of this situation of what's happening in the world, we were traveling a lot, actually. We lived in Costa Rica and spent a lot of time in Southeast Asia and in Bali. And we were just immersed in teaching and practicing and learning about yoga. And we were leading retreats. We've been hosting workshops internationally and locally as well. We did recently feel called at the end of last year. We felt called to come back to Pensacola, to our hometown here in Florida. We just felt it was just something in us was like, it's time to go home. So we came home, and that was kind of the end of, not the end, it was just the end of that chapter of our pilgrimage. Of that spiritual pilgrimage, exactly. But it started in Costa Rica, really, and then it led us through Asia and now back home. And here we are establishing some roots, and we have some time now to really expand this movement. Most recently, we have launched a membership, which we're really excited about, a monthly membership. And we also are leading retreats to Costa Rica. So we led a retreat in February, which again, we feel like so honored to have been able to have that opportunity. It was like right at the edge before all of this happened. So it was a really beautiful.
It was great though, because like we were oblivious of what was about to happen. So we were just like in the jungle loving it. And then we got home and everything happened.
And everything changed. But it was almost like it was preparing us for this moment, because now back in Costa Rica, they're really struggling. So now we're actually turning our next retreat in September. We're using it to raise awareness around what's happening in Costa Rica, in a country where the borders are closed. They rely so heavily on tourism. A lot of families just don't know how they're going to feed themselves, because their jobs are gone, completely gone. So we're using this retreat to bring awareness around that. And the retreat center where we host our retreats they're actually building a garden, and they're going to grow food that will be donated to the families in need in the community. So this is something that's very close to our hearts that we're working on upcoming in September. So all of this, like everything that we teach, is all centered around living a fulfilled life, because that's what we've been searching for. Like that led us all over the world searching for, how do you live a fulfilled life? And I think that's something that I'm sure all of you have already been wondering, you're already curious about, because you've all chosen to make yourself a priority by working with Jess and working on your health and being conscious about what you're putting inside of your body and taking care of this vessel, this precious vessel. And meditation is just like taking it, just taking a little bit deeper, looking within, right? And it's about living in a higher vibration, in your power and in your purpose.
One of the biggest things we learned when we were traveling the world and we were searching for our purpose and like fulfillment was, it's not anything external, it is internal. And that's what meditation really taught us. And that's what we're doing in meditation, is we're bringing it inward. We're bringing ourselves back into our body, into our awareness of our thoughts, because we're not our thoughts, we're the awareness of our thoughts. And if we can really understand our thoughts and our emotions, then we can honor them. And then we're honoring ourselves. And then we're able to move forward in a more fulfilled, aligned life.
Exactly. Beautifully put. We wanted to start just kind of like at the baseline of what we're working with, which is coming into vibrational awareness. Vibration is, you are vibration expressing itself, coming down to the most microscopic level. We are all vibration expressing itself. It's how you communicate, it's how you feel, it's how you discern, it's how you perceive. It's like, it's that thing that you can't really touch, but it's there, you feel it. It's the vibration. And self-care and personal development are the tools that we use to increase our awareness, our vibrational awareness. Because really, this is learning when you are more aware of your vibration, which is, your environment, what you consume, how you communicate, how you feel, then you can live in greater harmony. So what your life looks like living in harmony, it feels good. Everything feels good. There's your relationships are healthy, your body is healthy, your mental and emotional well-being is thriving. You feel joyful, you have love for the world around you. You have greater peace of mind. When you're living out of harmony, that looks like stress, anxiety, which is going to compromise your health. It looks like unhealthy relationships, fear in the world. So when you learn to tap into the awareness of your vibrations, you can learn to vibrate higher daily and feel alive and activated and aligned, like Leah was saying, in your purpose and in your power, and from a place of peace.
So if you think about it, vibration is everything. So everything is vibrating all the time. Like that tree, this desk, this mug, like everything has a vibration and it has its own vibration. So when you become aware of vibrations, which is what meditation helps you to do, you're able to understand, like, move towards things that vibrate higher and move away from things that vibrate lower. So that could be like the foods you eat, the people that you surround yourself with, the music you listen to, like words, so like podcasts that you're listening to,
The words that the people around you are speaking, becoming aware of that and how
Mhm.
that affects your vibrations.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Amazing. And so speaking, I know Jess talks a lot about working with hormones, right? Balancing your hormones. So did you know that your thoughts actually affect your hormones? It affects the chemical reactions. Your thoughts are affecting the chemical reactions in your body. So your body is paying very close attention to the vibrations, your vibrational state. And when you're vibrating at your highest, it radiates into this energy field that surrounds you. Not to get too woo-woo here, but we are surrounded by energy. It's what we are. Everything is energy. So when you are vibrating higher, that communicates through all of your fields, all of your bodies, your emotional body, your mental body. And that begins to look like a radiant physical appearance. It looks like confidence. You're able to communicate yourself effectively. So there's so many ripple effects that becoming aware of vibrations and tuning in into what's going on inside of yourself, becoming self-aware, it has this incredible ripple effect throughout your life. So also your happiness, this is also meditation. A lot of times, I guess I kind of gave it away, but when we're talking about meditation, like when you start a meditation practice, what's one of the reasons why you want to start meditating more? Because you want to feel happier, right? I mean, I think a lot of times that's a big draw to meditating. Like, I want to feel more peace. I want to feel happiness. And don't look to meditation for that. Don't look to meditation for happiness, because your natural state of being is happiness. Meditation is simply learning to come into that natural state of being. And it's learning to be flexible with our thoughts and with our emotions, instead of looking at them as, oh, I'm doing it wrong. Like, oh, my emotions, I feel bad, so I'm doing something wrong, or something's wrong with me. Something's wrong with my thought patterns. Instead of working against yourself, you're learning how to, like Leah said, honor that. You're learning to develop this flexibility so that you can bring your attention back to what feels good. Bring your attention back to those positive affirmations, back to those positive thoughts, and you can shift your happiness back into your natural state of being.
We like to think of emotions as like teachers, like each emotion is teaching you something. And for me, I used to be like, before meditation, before I kind of like aligned with who I was the type of person who wanted to like numb everything. So I never wanted to feel. And if I would start to feel something like bad, I would want to maybe like have some drinks or something like that. Anything to numb, right? Like take my mind off what is happening in my body with these physical sensations, because emotions are just physical sensations in your body. So what really like was so life-changing for me was like being able to like come into my body and become present to my emotions and understand them. You don't really even have to understand your emotions. You just have to like let them be with no resistance, and just let them be. And when you can do that, you can honor them. So if you have these feelings of like overwhelm, you can let that just be, you can honor it, and you can move forward. So like maybe go on a long walk, or like do something nourishing to yourself, rather than like pushing against the current and like pushing against that overwhelm. Or if you're feeling a lot of love, then like you can just feel that, and that feels good, and you can honor that. So when I moved away from like that numbing, and I really was able to just like sit in my own awareness, my own presence, I became so present to my emotions. And that's what like really, now I can feel so much happiness. Sorry, I should close this window. Yeah, so feel so much happiness. And because that's my natural state of being, is like happy and joyful and full of peace.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so what is meditation? Meditation, we like to think of it like this. It's like finding, sitting in, and enjoying that sweet spot in between your thoughts. Because you are not your thoughts. You are the awareness that observes your thoughts. You are that space, that presence in between the thoughts, because you're observing them. So in between all of the thoughts, that is you. And it's learning to sit in that presence with yourself. So there are 4 basics to meditation. I'm going to go over them quickly and then we're going to practice them together. So the 4 basics. Number 1, in the very beginning, comfort is queen, because you want to learn to get really comfortable sitting still, right? In the beginning, you also might want to sit with something to support your low spine. And if even just sitting upright, for 10 minutes is still uncomfortable for you, try practicing lying down. In the beginning, whatever it takes to feel comfortable, that's the most important, because if your body can't relax, then your mind is going to have a hard time relaxing as well. The second thing, breath. Your breath is literally what gives us life. In yoga, it's referred to as prana, or vital breath. So it's like the most powerful tool that we have, and it's free. Like, we can literally experience incredible things. Like, it can do anything from soothe you, bring your heart rate down and soothe you, or it can activate you. I mean, I've experienced incredible meditations that felt like I was like tripping on psychedelics purely through breath work. It's an incredible, powerful tool that we have. And it's also what we use to pull us back into the present. So the third is observing. This is the third basic to meditation. We're learning to observe. We are the observer. Think of yourself as a scientist. When thoughts start to pass by, you're just observing them and just, okay, letting it go. And we're not reaching for it. We're not obsessing over it. We're not holding on to it. We're just simply letting our thoughts ebb and flow, and learning to let them ebb and flow rather than getting carried away by any particular thought. We're just simply observing that sweet spot, right? That is you. That is you, because you are not your thoughts. You are the awareness that observes those thoughts. And the last one is presence. That's what meditation is also teaching us about, is learning to be fully present. And we use breath actually to keep us in the present. We will use breath to keep us rooted in the present moment, because when our thoughts start to wander, and they always will. So don't think, we'll get into myth busting later, but when your thoughts start to wander, you use your breath to pull you back into the present moment. So let's practice that together. It looks like we're all pretty much in a comfortable place where you can just come into a comfortable seat. If you feel comfortable, then begin to close down your eyes. Beautiful. So a tall spine, comfortable seat, and a soft belly. Eyes gently closed. Begin to take some deep breaths in through the nose and then out through the mouth. Breathing in through the nose, deep belly breath, filling the lungs from the very bottom. Feel the ribcage expand, the chest lift, and exhale gently with a sigh. Take a couple more rounds of breath just like this. And notice the body softening with every exhale. Notice the chest lifting and the ribcage expanding with breath, giving you life with every inhale. And then checking in with your mental state. Where are your thoughts right now? Can you take one step back and then maybe another and begin to just observe your thoughts? Just allow your thoughts to come and go like clouds passing. You're just observing. And allowing yourself to enjoy this sweet spot. It feels good to sit here and enjoy your own presence. And if your thoughts are being carried away into the past, into what has already happened, take a deep breath in for the past. And exhale, let the past go. And if your thoughts are caught up in the future, what you have to do after this, take a deep breath in for the future. Exhale, let the future be. And remembering that you can always come back to the breath when you find yourself carried away in thoughts that are dragging you down. Remember, where is my breath? How deep and intentional and big and bright can I make my breath? Take a deep breath in through the nose, and then the audible sigh, let it go. Take a deep breath in, and as you let it go, you can begin to gently open the eyes again. Coming back into this room, into this space together. Welcome back. So that was easy, right? That was fun. So those are the 4 basics. Hopefully, those will help you when you're beginning your meditation practice. If you stick with those 4 basics, you are doing it. You're doing it. So let's get into some myth busting, because I feel like some things may have been coming up as we were just doing this together.
Yeah, these are the 3 biggest myths that we come across when we're first teaching people, or like if you're deep into your meditation practice, people still have these things come up.
Yeah.
So first one is, I have to empty my mind completely of all thoughts. So people always are like, oh, like I'm not doing it right. There's thoughts.
Or like, yeah, or they beat themselves up. Even just now, if you felt yourself like, I'm sure it happened many times. I know it happens for me. Like when I first sit down and start meditating, and I'm like, ping, ping, ping. And you don't, it's a lot of times when people will quit is then when that starts happening, they're like, oh, I can't do this. I'm messing up. I'm not doing it right. But really, we actually use a lot of like words and thoughts and thoughts in meditation. So it's not true that you have to completely empty your mind, because we use things like mantras, we use positive affirmations, we even use chanting a lot in meditation.
And those are all thoughts.
Those are all thoughts.
And it's not possible to empty your mind of all thoughts. That's really not what it's about at all. It's just becoming aware of those thoughts and being compassionate towards yourself with those thoughts. So when your mind begins to wander, just passionately bring yourself back into your breath, into your body. Instead, what'd I say?
Passionately bring it back.
Passionately.
Yes. Or that.
Or either way. So it's just bringing yourself back. That's the practice. So meditation is a practice, just like yoga, just like anything, like using your intuition, anything. It's a practice.
And it's the returning. Think about it that way. It's like, because like I said, your mind is, the thoughts will wander. That will always happen. It's never going to not happen. So it's just that gentle returning back, and it's gentle, like Leah says. It's not like like you're messed up, bring it, it's like a come back, just come back, bring it back in, bring it back in. Next myth, what do we got, Leah?
Next one is, I can't sit still long enough.
This is a good one, because in the beginning, there's an emotional purging that happens sometimes when you first start meditating, and that's normal, but don't let it scare you off, because when you first start to sit with yourself, if you've been ignoring this for years or months, weeks, things will start to build up. So when you begin to sit down and really let yourself face it, things will come up, but they're coming up because they need to come out. So once you let yourself sit through the discomfort and allow it to be released, allow it to come out, then you'll feel so much lighter, and you'll feel so connected to your true self who is underneath it all along.
So it's good if this feels uncomfortable. If you're in meditation and you start to feel uncomfortable, that's a good thing, because that means change is about to happen. And what happens with like these energies and these emotions, they get stuck in our body. And if we don't ever allow them to come up, if we don't ever allow ourselves to feel them and explore them, then they'll stay stuck in our body. That can be like, you can feel stuck energy in your body.
And it can manifest into disease, which is something none of you want, because your vessels are so clean and healthy working with Jess. All right, the next one we love busting is, I don't have the time. I don't have time to meditate. First of all, false. Meditation creates more time for yourself because you're learning how to accomplish more while doing less, because you learn how to tap into your flow state, which I know Jess is also teaching you a lot about, learning like how to track your cycles, right? That's, or the phases of your cycle, because you're learning how to surrender to your natural rhythms, your natural flow. And that's what meditation is also teaching you. It's teaching you how to tap into that field of flow. And when you tap into that field of flow, you're no longer like racing against the clock. You no longer feel like you're running out of time. You're not fighting against yourself. You're learning how to be, and you're like what we were saying at the beginning, learning to be in your natural state of happiness and
because
flow.
It brings you into your alignment, into your truth. Like it makes you, it's easier to make decisions because you already know like to check in with your body and what your body is telling you when a decision comes up. And it's like creating more time because it's making you clearer. It's creating so much clarity in your life, in your mind, in your body, in your heart. So everything becomes like easier.
And increases your productivity. Like you're creating, we'll get into some of the benefits. The benefits are profound. Like you're literally creating new neural pathways in your brain. You're exercising the muscle, the like most profound muscle in the world is the human brain. And like you're learning how to tap into that power and to exercise that muscle. So are we ready for some of the benefits?
Let's do it.
Some of the benefits are, speaking of, it is backed by science. When we turn to meditation as a habit, we're increasing our ability to consciously alter our brain waves. We have 5 different brain waves that our brain operates on. And using meditation, we can consciously switch between those frequencies, between those brain waves. So we're creating these new thought patterns, new neural pathways, and over the time we're changing the actual structure of our brain. Like it's been studied. This is backed by science, and it's incredible. I mean, this is how we turn into the best versions of ourselves, because we're learning how to create new thought patterns that serve us, that serve our higher good.
So if you think about like since you were born, you've basically been conditioned and programmed to think a certain way from society, from your parents, from growing up in school.
And it's not your fault. It's just what happens. Growing up and living in this environment, you become impressioned by what you're surrounded by.
So these are all beliefs. So we all believe certain things, but we think these beliefs are truth. They're not necessarily. So what we're doing in meditation is we're deciding what's true for ourselves. We're challenging these beliefs, and if we don't want to believe that anymore, then in meditation, we can reprogram our minds to believe our new truths.
We're learning how to understand our own mind. Before we started meditating, I know a lot of times like we would find ourselves just operating in autopilot. But now, we still have like these thoughts. It's not that you like when you start meditating, you just become this saint and your thoughts just become pure and calm and peaceful all the time. Like it still happens. You still have that inner battle of the thoughts in your mind, but now you know how you're aware of it and you know how to make conscious choices. And that leads to creating new habits that are going to serve you. And when we understand ourselves better, that gives us so much more flexibility and freedom in life. When you're just able to understand yourself, you can move forward in life like with so much freedom and flexibility, because you know where you stand, you know who you are, and you know how to make conscious choices that are for your best good.
Amen. Okay, more benefits.
Okay, so some of the benefits we wanted to touch on that just really quickly that we thought some of you would appreciate. It enhances your physical recovery from working out, and it amplifies your energy. It gives you more energy and it helps you to recover. So this is like definitely something you want to have in your toolkit as you're working on your mental health or your physical health. It goes right hand in hand with it. It helps to overcome emotional eating, which I know Jess and I have this in common, where finding a plant-based lifestyle helped us find so much healing from our own eating disorders. And for me, it was also meditation is what helped me overcome my eating disorder as well. It's a natural stress stabilizer. We know stress is like the root of all disease. Yes. So anything to manage stress is going to be definitely something you want to practice. It helps manage depression, anxiety. It boosts your happiness by literally at least 20% or more.
I think this piece with anxiety and depression is so huge,
It
because
is.
I think like almost everyone struggles with anxiety, and especially with what's going on in the world right now, there's all this fear and this anxiety and uncertainty. And when we're anxious, we're either living in the past or the future, worried about the past or worried about the future, right? And so if we can bring ourselves back to this present moment, which is actually all there is ever.
It's where all your power is too, right here.
Yes.
Right here in the present moment.
And that's what meditation helps you to do, is come back to the present, and then the anxiety fades away.
Yeah, I think, and both of us experience that as well. We both used to experience crippling anxiety that we would take out in other substances, like looking to alcohol or anything, external sources to like heal what the anxiety that we were feeling within, instead of just looking at it.
Yes.
Taking a mirror and looking at ourselves and finding healing that way. So yeah, deeper self-awareness is another benefit, and more flow time, which we talked about, which is one of the funnest, I think, experiences of meditation. You literally learn how to tap into this Deepak Chopra. If you guys aren't already familiar with him, he's the OG of meditation. Like literally, guys should. His books are so simple but so profound. Anyways, he talks about this field of pure potentiality, which is like, oh, the most magical experience in meditation when you tap into that, because that is the flow state of the universe. It's the universal intelligence that orchestrates everything around us. It's tapping into that is the most like amazing feeling ever. And then that is what you can kind of carry with you throughout your day, throughout your life. You learn how to tap into that flow state where you're no longer fighting against anything. You're simply flowing.
And I think as women,
and you're still achieving, like you're not just floating around like la la la. You're still like, you're getting things done because you're in your flow state, and you're like fully aligned in your purpose and your power.
And especially as women, it's so important to like become aware of this, because we have these 4 different cycles, 4 different phases in our cycle. And so if we become aware of like what our flow state is, and like if I'm bleeding, I don't necessarily want to like go out and be like super social. And so if I understand that and I can honor that in myself, instead of if I do go out and be so super social, then I'm like, why do I feel like this? Like, am I just like antisocial? Like I don't want to be here, and I'm not connecting with anyone. So it's like about honoring yourself and stepping into your flow, stepping into the current, and truly like understanding yourself so you can honor yourself fully.
Yes. And then we wanted to go over something that we want to give you. After this, we have like, I guess kind of like a workbook, or
like a workbook. Yeah. Something.
Anyways,
like
it's something that has a lot of like this information that we covered in a really pretty presentation that we're going to give to Jess, who can give to all of you beautiful women. And then we have a 10-minute guided meditation that we want to send to you as well. So you can use this starting to use it in your morning rituals and your morning routines. It's 10 minutes. So everyone has 10 extra minutes in their morning to start using this meditation. And it uses what we love to teach, the 6-phase meditation. So this is super simple and it's super effective, and it helps you when you use it daily. It's going to raise your vibrations, and it's going to increase your inner peace and your inner power. And what it does is it's using these, what is it, like this top 6 like experiences that we all, issues, I guess, the top 6 issues that we all face in our human experience. Yeah. So we'll go through them together, but it's the first 3 are compassion, gratitude, and forgiveness. So these are things that touch on like what affects our happiness and what affects like how we move through the world. Like it's like these basic experiences that we all experience as human beings, right? And these are the 6 things that we can incorporate into a meditation practice that literally only takes 10 minutes. And it's so effective. It's so much fun. So we're going to practice this meditation together as well. But first we're going to go through it to kind of explain what the 6 phases are so that you'll understand as we're going through the meditation. So the first one is compassion, because we all need to learn how to show ourselves some compassion. I love, we both love how Jess teaches women this, to like, we're not going on diets because we hate ourselves, because we hate our bodies. We're doing it because we love ourselves and we want to take care of ourselves. So compassion is super, super important. And it's really important when we're rewiring our brains, like redesigning our life, our thought patterns. Like there's a lot going on here. So you have to learn how to show yourself compassion and throughout it all, or else you're just going to end up like beating yourself up and you won't make any progress. The second one is gratitude, because gratitude is the highest vibration of all. Highest vibration in the universe. It will make profound ripple effects in your life. Like if you want to just start with one simple thing, one mindfulness practice, gratitude. Just start there. Like wake up in the morning, name 3 things you're grateful for.
The more that you let the universe know what you're grateful for, the more you're going to get of that thing.
The more you tell the universe, oh, I like this, I like this. And the universe is like, oh, cool. Okay, I'm going to send you more of this. The universe wants to send you everything that you love because you are the universe experiencing life. So the universe wants to give you more things that you enjoy experiencing because you're a co-creator with the universe. The third thing is forgiveness. This is a huge thing. We have to learn how to forgive ourselves and forgive others, or else we end up holding on to resentment. And like Leah was saying, that gets stored in the body, and you don't want to be holding on to resentment and letting that turn into like manifest into physical ailments in the body. And then we get into some fun things like creative visualization, learning how, which is another thing that meditation is teaching you. It's learning how to tap into that creative visualization, and not only about visualizing it, but learning how to feel what it feels like to be in those visualizations. Like when you're picturing yourself in your best life, living out your biggest goals and your biggest dreams, what does it feel like to be living that?
This kind of touches on manifestation. In manifestation, people sometimes get it confused with like, this is what I want. I want this like beautiful house, right? But what are you really after? What is the feeling that you're going to get when you get that big house?
The security.
That's what you want to manifest, is the feeling, the state of being, because everything happens emotionally before it happens physically. So in manifestation, it's much more about like the emotion rather than anything physical. And people really get that mixed up. They're like, I want this amount of money and I want this house and this car, but that's not what it's about.
Even in your meditation, if you're not a very visual person, don't let that hold you back either. Think more about the emotions you want to feel and experience. Like, I want to feel more freedom. I want to feel more bliss. I want to feel more creativity. Think about those emotions rather than like, I think I just really need this car to make me happy. I really need like to live here and then I'll be happy. It's more about the emotional state of being that we're after. That is the real fulfillment. The next one, number 4, or this is 5.
Oh yeah.
I messed up the numbering. 5 is your daily intention. A daily intention is something that you can just set at the beginning of your day. You're like, I'm going to have a beautiful day. Everyone I come in contact with, I'm going to leave them feeling happier or better about themselves, or I'm going to show myself like 3 acts of love today. Or it's a daily intention that you can set at the beginning of your day and carry with you. And again, it's more so about like, I want to feel joy and excitement today. Thinking about setting the tone for how you want to feel. And then the blessing, that's the final one. Tapping into assuming that there's a higher power, because there is. The universe is behind you and within you. And the universe wants to see you succeed. So visualize the universe supporting you and helping you to bring all of those goals to fruition. And then you seal it off there and you're good to go. On with your day, on with your life. So let's practice that together, shall we?
So I think we'll do this meditation and then we'll open it up for any questions you guys may have.
And that's that.
And we'll seal it off and hand it over to Jess.
Okay, so we're going back in. So get into your comfortable seat again. So finding that sweet spot yet again, sitting comfortably. And when you're ready, begin to close the eyes. Taking some deep breaths in through the nose Maybe a few rounds of cleansing breath. So out through the mouth with the exhale. In through the nose, deep belly breath. Out through the mouth, cleansing exhale. After a couple of rounds, we'll seal the lips and keep the breath moving in and out through the nose. So let's begin by visualizing a warm golden light in your heart center. And feel it radiating here in your heart center. And with every inhale, it's growing brighter. And with every exhale, feel that light expanding. So inhale, it's growing brighter, more radiant, more intense. Exhale, it begins to expand and surround you. Inhale, breathe it in. It's growing brighter still. Exhale, feel it surrounding you, creating a bubble or a shield surrounding you. And feel yourself just sitting here in this beautiful bubble of warm, golden, divine light of love and compassion. Feel how good that feels. Take a deep breath in. It's still growing brighter. And as you exhale, it expands and it covers the room you're in, or it covers the space that you're sitting in. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, it expands and it covers the entire country that you're in. Feel it expanding as you breathe in. It's growing stronger and brighter, more radiant. As you exhale, it expands and now it covers the entire planet in this love, in this compassion, radiating from your heart center. Feel yourself covered in this love and compassion that's spreading across the entire planet. Now take a moment here and think of one thing that you were grateful for today. Just one thing, big or small. And have a moment of gratitude here for that thing. And take another moment and think of something you're grateful for within yourself. So maybe it's a quality you hold. Maybe it's just something about yourself you just love. What is just one thing you're grateful for about yourself today? Honoring a moment of gratitude for that. And now allow yourself to sit with anything that feels like it needs to be released. So maybe something needs to come up right now that needs to come out. Is it forgiveness? Is it resentment or shame? It's a safe place so you can allow it to come up because you're going to release it. You can repeat these words silently or out loud. I forgive myself. I release that which is no longer serving me in my highest good. I forgive you, and I ask that you forgive me. Now take a deep breath in and begin to visualize what your dream life looks like. What does it look like? And 3 years down the road, you are living your dream life. Take a moment here and feel what that experience feels like. Your brain is actively seeking out, and the universe behind you is going to guide you to the right opportunities to create those visions. So really let your imagination grow wild, go wild. Let your dreams go wild and free, hold nothing back. Because here's the thing, we tend to overestimate what we can do in 1 year, but we actually underestimate what we can do in 3 years' time. So think 3 years down the road and then double it. Think bigger. All right, now take a deep breath in and simply visualize your day ahead of you. You're going to have the most perfect day. Everything's going to go exactly as you would like them to. Here you are bringing in emotions of joy, excitement, freedom, gratitude. You are shifting your level of happiness consciously because you are choosing right now, right here, how you want to feel today. Imbue your body with these emotions, these good feeling emotions. And now take a deep breath in and begin to assume there's a higher power supporting you. You are a co-creator with this higher power, you and Source. You are an individualized expression of the entire universe. And this universe wants you to feel good and experience good things. So visualize now this higher power supporting you and your dreams. Take a deep breath in through your nose and a cleansing breath out. One more time, in through your nose, deep breath. Biggest lung expansion you felt all day. And let it go. Inhale and begin to blink your eyes open on the exhale. Gently coming back, returning here and now. Welcome back. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through that meditation. It was such an honor.
Beautiful. Okay, yeah, we're gonna open it up. If anyone has any questions or comments or anything at all, we're so open.
That 6-phase meditation we just walked through, we'll send you the recorded version so you can have that link and revisit it whenever you like. Hopefully you'll start using it daily. That's the, that would be
the
goal.
It's open. You can unmute yourself or just like wave and we can unmute you, or if no one has anything.
I have a question. So like I know, or most of my girls know how important meditation is for me, and something that I've started also a couple of years ago. And I always tell all of them to start it right away when they're semi program, because I know how beneficial it is. But of course, there's days where, you know, I have like, let's say 3-4 days, my meditation goes amazing and I just feel so good. And then there's other days where I start, and you also mentioned that before, and I'm like 2 minutes in and my mind is all over the freaking place. And I'm like, oh my God, I cannot shut down my mind. How do you deal with that? Because like a lot of times, instead of then continuing, I'm just like, okay, you know, F it. And I look at my phone and then I'm like all over the place with my thoughts. And again, like it really happens. So how do you deal with that when you have like, because I know you girls work a lot, you're always, you know, doing something. So how do you manage that?
I think for me on those days, because I go through phases, I definitely have those days a lot. And for those days, for me, guided meditations are so helpful because I can kind of, it's almost like you can just like allow your thoughts to be directed and guided. And for me on those days where because do you use guided meditations, or do you practice like just with a timer or music or something?
I have guided meditation, and that's what I also usually like recommend my girls. I send them like a link if they're like completely new to it, or I tell them how the Calm app. It's like the best invention ever because it really helps, especially if you're a beginner, to like get into meditation.
Yes, absolutely. But then, yeah, even if that's something that you're experiencing, you're using a guided meditation and that's still, your thoughts are still just like not cooperating. It's like the root of mindfulness is compassion, because mindfulness cannot exist without compassion, because then it just turns into like, what is that? It's like aggression. It's not mindfulness anymore. It's just like beating yourself up. And that's like so not what mindfulness is about. So just always remembering that at the root of our mindfulness practice, of our meditation practice, is compassion, and learning to sit in those moments of discomfort. It's like learning to just sit through it, because meditation isn't always rainbow and sunshines and beautiful epiphanies. sometimes it's discomfort.
Exactly. So two things I was going to say is I have those days all the time. Like I definitely feel that, and that's part of the practice. But I find if I go straight into my meditation, like first thing in the morning, because it's so tempting to like get into my phone and be like, okay, I have like all these messages to reply to and all these things to do. But if I go straight into my meditation, I know that I show up so much better and clearer and more aligned when I meditate, and like the inspired ideas I get when I meditate, like I can show up better for my business in that way, for my friends, for my family in that way. So I just know first thing in the morning, if I do my meditation like right away,
that's when your brain is like at its freshest, because like when you're sleeping, like you're busy when you're sleeping, like you're off, your consciousness is traveling. So when you come back into your body and when you wake up in the morning, your consciousness is like, it's teeming with wisdom and insight, and like, you know, that's when it's at its freshest, and that's when you're also at your most relaxed too, because you're just like, your body's pretty relaxed because you just got out of bed, your mind is like ready to go though. So it's the best time to like put your meditation practice is like right then when you're fresh out of bed, because then you can't get dragged away. Because that's another thing about I don't have time, that excuse for meditation. It's not about time, actually. It's really not. It's about priorities. So if you make your meditation practice the first priority, then you'll have the time for it first thing in the morning, and it makes the experience so much more enjoyable. Because even if sometimes, like, if you don't have the time, it's okay to do it before bed, but you'll find that it's like not the same experience before bed, you know, because you're kind of like winding down, and it's different when you're first thing in the morning, and it totally is a different.
I actually had that because I always used to meditate in the evenings. And then I completely changed to the mornings, because like my mornings would always be like super hectic. I would wake up, work out, and get straight into work. And I realized that throughout the day, I would like not feel good because I would always rush into things in the morning. And I like a lot of people do that because there's just so much to do. Everyone has like such a huge to-do list, but if you give yourself the permission to just really calm down in the morning, it has had huge effects. And it also helped me with my sleep. I thought that meditating in the evening is going to help me with my sleep, but actually meditating in the morning helped me more, which is crazy.
True.
Yes,
it's so true.
Mornings are so important. We like clear out the first 2 hours of our morning, and it's just for us. Like meditation, journaling, movement.
It's kind of the first 4 hours.
We've
been waking up at like 5, and then we don't start work until 9. So that's like 4 solid hours of.
And I'm still like,
I still
chilling.
want more.
Yeah.
It's not enough
so
time.
important.
Thank you, Jess. That's a good idea. A good question. Thank you.
What did you say, Jess?
I asked if everyone has any other question. Don't be shy. Yes, Steph. 2 girls. Let's start with Steph.
Oh, okay. Hi. I was wondering, do you think that it's possible or like to kind of meditate with having a lot of external distractions, or is having that kind of quiet, peaceful time really crucial? Because where I'm living right now is much more slow paced, and it's only temporary. I'm moving back to Washington, D.C. in a couple months. And when I first tried doing meditation, it was kind of like on the subway or like walking from the metro to my job. I'd listen to like a guided meditation. And oftentimes, you hear like cars passing by and you just hear all this noise, and I would get into moments where I'm like, it's too noisy, I can't, forget it. Yeah. And then I would kind of give up on it. But those were times where I felt like I had the most time to practice meditation. And mind you, I should cut out some more private time. But at that time, it was like, I can do it while I'm walking. So do you think that it's possible to be active and still meditate, or is having that like silent, alone time really crucial?
We definitely believe in active meditations, and the goal in meditation is really to make your whole life a meditative experience. So I think it's great to do that, but I also think it's really, really important to find that stillness, because when you can find stillness in your body and like really, really connect to your breath, it's a much deeper experience. And again, with like external distractions, that's okay, because it's really like just becoming like aware of your thoughts and your emotions and your breath
and the external factors.
Exactly.
Because like when we're meditating, we don't want to like create such a vacuum in our meditation practice that we're not able to like integrate that into our real life world, because our real life world, we have external things distracting us all the time. So that's important to learn how to like integrate that practice into real life. But it's also, like Leah said, it's definitely important, I think, to have experiences and opportunities as well to sit in the stillness and silence, because it's a different experience. It goes a bit deeper when you're able to have that quiet time. But I love that you do practice it. Like, it's important to, yeah, absolutely, you can meditate on the subway and when you're taking a walk. Absolutely.
Then you're like feeding yourself that high vibrational.
Yeah, your brain is still absorbing it.
Yeah.
Because
I do sometimes in the car, I'll listen to a guided meditation because I just want to listen to something that's like
you're feeding your brain. Your subconscious is still eating that up.
Yeah. But it's not exactly the same experience you get when you're in complete stillness, you know?
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Olivia.
Hi. So sorry, my English isn't the best. I'm from Germany, but my question is a little bit close to what you just talked about. I'm a nurse. I'm working at the stroke unit, and sometimes really have bad cases. Like a few weeks ago, we had a young lady with a really bad stroke. She cried a lot. It really affected me. And sometimes I was thinking if there is like a mini version I could do at work to calm myself, because sometimes it's really hard to stay focused when you have a patient that really affects you, and to stay strong for your patients. I mean, I am doing, but sometimes I really feel not so calm, and your patients can feel how you are as their nurse. So I thought maybe you have a tip for me.
Yeah, definitely. Oh my goodness. Thank you for your work in the medical field.
Yes.
You are a true angel. I think something to look into, we can send you a link to, is a return to sender. It's kind of like an energy practice where you are basically learning how to create an energetic shield, where you're not necessarily building a wall. It's not a wall. You're not closing yourself off, but you're building a shield to protect yourself from energy that is not yours entering your energy field. But something that's even simpler than that is just the breath, connecting to your breath, finding a moment, like even if you just go hide in the bathroom, or if you can step outside at all, and just like taking a moment to take like 3 deep calming, like deep cleansing breaths, like we do at the beginning of the meditation, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Even just 3 can like alter your state immediately.
Yeah, so I would put one hand on your like womb space and one hand on your heart and just breathe into that. So that will bring you back into your body, into your presence, into like your own energy field.
Yes.
And also something we always recommend when people have jobs that can like create kind of that emotion is mindful triggers. Is that what we call it?
Yes.
Mindful triggers. So it's like the opposite of emotional triggers. So for example, if you're like walking through the door of your workplace and you open the door, that's your mindful trigger, and like have a mantra or an affirmation, like I'm going to release all energy that isn't mine today, or I'm going to show so much love to myself today. And so each time you open a door at work, you remind yourself of that affirmation.
Or it could be something where each time you pick up a pen, or anything like that, and it's like that sends a message to your brain to keep the positive affirmations feeding yourself throughout the day.
So you're kind of just like in that space, like reminding yourself of like your awareness, your presence, what's yours, what's not yours.
Just because you coming back into your breath will help you come back into your body, which will help you discern what is your energy and what is not your energy. And then with your breath, you can release the energy that is not yours. But yeah, we're also happy to send that to you. Are you an empath? Do you resonate with being an empath?
Oh, sorry. German.
Okay. It's like somebody who's really sensitive to other people's energy.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like most people are empathic.
Especially women.
Especially us women. Yes, I think most women are naturally empathic. So anyways, this practice, the return to sender practice, is really a powerful tool when you are sensitive to other people's energies and you're working with a lot of
energies
Yeah.
and a lot of like intense energies.
And even when you're like leaving your workplace, like you want to just kind of come back to yourself and like to your own like happiness, right? And like kind of separate that.
Yeah.
So like when you're leaving work, you can really tune into your body and feel like, what are you feeling? And if there's like emotions of sadness or struggle or overwhelm, you can release that, because most likely it's not yours. That energy belongs to the people you are around all day. So you can release that from your body and then breathe in like the good energy that you do want into your own being.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time, ladies. It was such a pleasure.
Yeah. All right. Cool, girls. I wanted to thank you so much. I think this was amazing. It was so valuable. As you girls know, I always tell them to meditate because it's so powerful. It's such a small practice, but incorporating that into your life is going to have such a huge impact. You know that I'm not only about nutrition and fitness. Health is so much more than that. And if your mind is not healthy, then there's no point of, nurturing yourself with good food and working out, because this is the priority right now and it should always be. And then you follow with the other things. So thank you so much. I think this was really, really amazing. And I learned a lot as well. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Jess. Thank you. It was, truly all our pleasure.
Yes.
So thank you for your time. And we'll send Jess those links for you as just like our gift to you for your time. And just hope that you find the practices beneficial to your experience. So thank you.
Thank you as well. Take care, girls. Have an awesome day.
Yes,
You
happy
guys
weekend.
too.
Happy Saturday.
Sending love.
Ciao.